What's up, Bulldog? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about MGTOW, men going their own way in marriage. So I got this email, and I've got a few of these emails. This one is called Bulldog Mindset, MGTOW, and Marriage. And he says, "Hi John, I've looked at some of your recent videos on MGTOW, and I'm pretty impressed overall. I agree with the concept of taking responsibility for your actions, and getting successful in some of MGTOW can be related to a victim mindset. However, you've completely ignored the issues of marriage and hypergamy in the West. There is a 50% plus divorce rate in the West, and that doesn't even include the people who are unhappily married and can't get divorced. For example, a lot of people tend to stay married due to family, culture, and social circle, kids, financial reasons, etc. So my question is, why would guys have to spend a lot of money and resources chasing women when it can be argued that they would be happier without women? I understand a lot of MGTOW are bitter, but still there's also a lot of happy bachelors. I'm very interested to hear your perspective on this issue." Okay, and this would be exactly why I would be more against MGTOW as it's defined, or as people have taken it over and defined it, rather than red pill. Okay, and just to the difference in my mind, or the biggest difference, is that the MGTOW guys are basically saying that they'd be happier without women, and the red pill guys are saying I'm fine, women great, awesome, but I'm not gonna get married. I'm not gonna go into this institution that is set up for me to fail, and that is legally a bad situation and financially a bad situation for me, where I'm not getting the benefits that a man used to get. And so I'm in agreement with that, actually. So a lot of people are often saying, "Oh, John, you're a cuck, a simp," because you disagree with the MGTOW movement and what they're saying. No, don't get me wrong. I agree with all of the grievances of what they say, like the reality of the situation for men today. It's not a great situation. I've said this in many videos. This is something that I stand pretty firmly on. Okay, especially the institution of marriage for men today. It is not good. All right, there's a lot of things that are wrong with it, and with hypergamy. Hypergamy has always existed, and it's always going to exist. I'm not even going to count that one, because you should just understand that and accept that reality. It's just the truth. You just have to be a fucking better man. All right, you can't complain because women choose better men. You got to be one. You got to keep on growing and keep on improving yourself, and not for women, but because that's what you are. Is that you're always going to strive to be a better version of yourself. So that is important, okay? But as far as the complaints about the divorce rates and the way the legal systems are set up, totally valid. Complaints about how society is now causing more women to act on their hypergamous nature because they get the benefits out of divorce and whatnot. Sure, I agree with all of that. That is very much true, and it's very much a bad situation for men. Now, what I disagree with is the handling of that, okay, in two ways. One, I don't think bitching and moaning about it changes anything, and I don't think it matters, and there's no point in really trying very hard to change this. Now, I would be on board supporting someone wanting to change these things, and I believe that it's good to change these things as much as possible, especially from a legal point. But living my life, and to those of you that are watching, living your life, unless you're gonna really just take up the flag and become a men's right activist, don't waste your fucking time. You're just gonna get bitter. You're just gonna be angry. Sure, support the people who are doing it. If you're one of them, that's fine, okay? But in reality, it's not going to affect you. You're not going to change the world. It's not liking the president and going on a tirade to convince everyone that he's a piece of shit. Okay, fine. I don't even fucking care. Okay, but it's not doing anything. It's just wasting your fucking time and making you angry. That's the same thing, right? So what I'm saying here is this: I'm sort of in agreement with the gentleman that wrote this, but what I'm saying is that, look, yeah, okay, fine, all right. My suggestion especially for you young guys, would avoid marriage, I've said it multiple times in this channel, avoid long-term relationships until you're at least in your 30s. But to think that you're going to live your life as a man and be, feeling totally fulfilled and happy without women at all is just it's about as stupid as the feminist belief of the same kind of when they ask questions like why do men exist? What is the purpose of a man? Right? It just doesn't make any sense. You're gonna you're gonna live a better life if you do have relationships with women, okay? And you should go in and find those relationships. You should just be careful and know that maybe you don't want to do anything super long term. Maybe you don't want to have any kind of high levels of commitment. Maybe you don't want to get married. Again, you can make those choices. Just make them with the full knowledge of what you're stepping into, all right? And understand the way that the world works today. That is the point of being red-pilled, is not to direct a course of action, but to have an understanding, a full understanding, to be able to see that you're in the matrix, okay? What you do is up to you. What you see is objective reality, and that's the whole point of this whole thing. And when ridiculous MGTOW guys are like, oh, whatever, and they're just calling women thoughts, and they're completely just anti-women, and it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's childish. It's just bitterness. I can't get on board with that kind of shit. It's just stupid, all right? So let me jump over to the next one. Okay, so this email, similar thing. He says, hi, John, I love the content. I saw your email, and I felt compelled to message you. You aimed this to someone else. I can't remember what email. Okay. John, I'm an inspired entrepreneur. I work corporate and have a side hustle. The aim is to pivot to full-time on my business. I am 30. I am single. I date mostly casually. I am more red pill than MGTOW and more PUA than either. Pickup artists, right? Okay. So working corporate around women and having done pickup for ages, you see patterns. Okay, I hear the way women talk about the husbands, fathers, and men. It's appalling. I have a house, no wife, or live-in girlfriend. Okay, and it is probably appalling. I agree. Like, this is, okay. 110% of my energy needs to be allocated to biz and endeavors, but it's very taxing seeing the way most women are. The notion of risking the farm, my biz, and life gambling on a woman is absurd at best. Okay, I totally agree with you. All right. I'm curious as to how you proceed in dating. One false accusation and you're ruined. I have read the Rational Male series, but it was pickup and extreme exposure to women that red-pilled me. Okay, so let's just take this statement here as to how he should proceed to dating. Okay, and this whole one false accusation, you're ruined. This is like a myth that is propagated throughout the MGTOW community and somewhat through the red pill. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay. Yes, there was the Me Too movement. Yes, you can be falsely accused of rape. Yes, you can be, you can have your reputation sullied, okay, without any real proof. But it is a rare occurrence, and there's some misconceptions legally on this, right? So you can be falsely accused of rape by a woman. It's true, okay, even if it was consensual sex, but there's still going to have to be some proof. It's still going to be your word against her word unless there's actual witnesses. And so what are you going to do in that situation? Well, you're going to consult with a lawyer, and the lawyer is going to tell you exactly what to say. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't tell you, but I can guess what the lawyer is going to tell you to say. He's going to just tell you that to say that she said yes. That's what he's going to tell you to say. And I'm only telling you that based on the premise that she did consent to it, right? So that's all. That's all there is to it. And then you're not going to make a big deal of it if it goes to court. You're not going to get accused. Like, you have to actually have evidence in order to be accused of a crime. Hearsay has never been evidence, okay? You would actually have to self-incriminate yourself in that situation in order for you to actually be convicted. Now, could it potentially ruin your life having the accusation? Sure, I suppose it could, but the chances of any of this shit happening are extremely low, even for guys that are running game and pickup. I know a ton of guys in this community, okay? I do some coaching in this area. I know most of the major YouTubers that do that teach and coach. I've had several of them on my channel. Okay, I can tell you that the guys being the most extreme in this area, the guys that are going out every night, do not have to deal with it. Like, if these guys are not having problems, then what makes you think, like, it's an excuse? This is what this typically is it's a MGTOW slash incel, right? Because a lot of, unfortunately, okay, a lot of MGTOW guys are actually just incel. They just have no ability, no game, nothing, and they're pretending like they are rejecting women when women are rejecting them. It's a sour grapes thing, right? Aesop's fable. Let's just, call it what it is, okay? And they are propagating this lie, saying, oh, the reason why I'm not getting involved with a woman, the reason why pickup is ridiculous is because today, one false accusation and you're ruined. Not true. Not true. And it's unlikely to happen. And like I said, if you did do the crime, then you deserve to be punished for the crime for sure. But I'm assuming most of you are not rapists, okay? So anyway, I would not worry about this. Yes, there is a probability that this will happen, but it always existed, and maybe it's slightly higher now, but you're never going to get away from that. And it's not a reason, like, there's a lot of things that you do that have a much higher risk profile than going and talking to women or doing pickup or game. Like, seriously, there's much more riskier things that you're doing. In fact, you're probably more likely when you go to the bar to get stabbed. All right, that's the risk. You should be like, if you're going to tell me that this is a risk, I want to hear you saying, oh, you should not go out to places where people are drinking and potentially violent, because you're likely to get stabbed. That rate of incident is much higher, and the consequences are much more severe. So it's just kind of bullshit, And I understand that some of you believe this because you've heard it and you see it on the news and TV. It's so blown up. For every one case of false rape accusation that you see on the news, there's like 1 million times it didn't happen. All right. So, and if you're smart enough and handle your situation well and can read social signals, you're much less likely to get into this type of thing. Like, don't do things that are in the gray area, and you're not going to have to worry about this, right? Make sure that it's very clear what is happening, okay? So yeah, so I don't know. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but since I've read the Rational Mail, okay. So I'm not Undead Chronic. I did a video talking about him. You can check it out. I prefer Happy Hermit, Barbar. I'm not sure what Barbar is, or others. Oh, okay, maybe these are other like MGTOW type of red pill guys. The thing is, extreme exposure to women, to female logic, hypergamy, and the rest can make a man jaded. No, it shouldn't make you jaded. It should do the opposite of that. What it should do is it should make you realize, again, this is why, guys, there has to be a balance here. So many of you that are watching these videos that call yourself red-pilled, okay, and I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just saying that how long ago was it that you were blue-pilled, that you didn't know what was going on? Most of you, right, had no idea what was happening and how women really worked, and female logic and hypergamy and all of these things. You were just like buying flowers and being a nice guy, and you didn't realize how things actually worked, okay? So then, Rollo Tomasi comes along. I had him on the channel, by the way. Check out the interview I've got with him. It should have come out by now, but you read Rational Mail or whatever, and you became red-pilled. And then you became extreme, okay? And you only focused on that. You only focus on what was wrong with women, what they were doing wrong, female logic, the hypergamy, all the kind of bad sides of it, okay? And you didn't read The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida, where you find out about the polarization, right, between the masculine and the feminine, okay? And how that not only... like you've got to be a complete man, you have to not take shit from women. You have to not be manipulated. You have to be red-pilled. You have to understand hypergamy and their nature and what they will do, but not be bitter about it, just from a biological perspective, how they choose mates, what kind of behaviors that they are going to do, okay? What is attractive, all of these things, okay? But you also have to understand how to handle and deal with women, right, in a relationship, and just in general, as a sex, as a species, being the stronger of the species, being the man, okay? And that's why I said there needs to be a balance here, because the kind of David Data way, the superior man, basically says, look, you're the man, you're strong, you're purpose driven, you have a goal in life, and you don't let anyone stop you from that goal. You don't base your life and center it around a woman. But at the same time, you have to understand that women are emotional creatures, that the feminine itself, right, when you talk about feminine and masculine, that those are two polar opposites, and that's why there's an attraction, okay? And that you cannot judge women by the same traits that you judge a man. A man has certain things that make him masculine, right? One of those things is being an action taker, being analytical, okay? Being a rock, okay? Those type of things. The feminine, okay, is the opposite. It's very fluid. It's in the now. It's not thinking about the future. It's not logical. It's not analytical. It's emotional, okay? And it needs the support of the rock. This is why these two come together. This is what creates the attraction and creates the polarization. And so a lot of you guys are really, really focused on the red pill shit, and that's good. It's good to not be taken advantage of, but you're too fucking hard. Okay? You don't know how to be the guy that is actually able to be there for a woman, right? That she's actually going to benefit from. Okay, and so you're just making this into a war instead of being a balanced man. I don't know. I can't really describe it to you if you don't understand this other, because you haven't gotten any of this knowledge from things like I said, like the way of Superior Man and David Data. You should read that type of content. There's other books like that as well, but you should have both of those things. You should have awareness and knowledge, but you should be able to be a strong enough man that you don't have to, like I said, I did a video where it showed a man in this, at a restaurant outside, and this woman was basically yelling at him, and I think she threw water in his face and everything, and he's just sitting there chilling, eating chips, okay? A lot of people said, oh, that's abuse. Come on. It's not a big fucking deal. Like, the dude, he can leave anytime he wants, but he's like, she's crazy. She's crazy woman. I don't give a fuck. Like, don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter, right? Because he's strong enough to realize that he's actually a man, and he's not gonna tolerate that shit from just some random woman. He's just gonna leave. But in this situation, he doesn't matter. Okay, again, will he leave? If she keeps on doing this, obviously he's gonna correct the behavior, but he doesn't need to be reactive. That's the whole point. Okay, and you have to understand that balance. That's the key thing. So you shouldn't be jaded by this stuff at all. All right, so let's move on here. I write this following taking a friend off the ledge, taking a gun out of his mouth, and getting him help after his wife cucked him. After he gave her kids, he put her through school and proposed. This is common in women today. Now here, I want to take this, okay? And I know I said that to keep this short, but let's take this. All right, first of all, I'm not, you have to understand something about this situation. It could happen to anyone, sure. But when I see this, like, okay, there's two things here. His wife cucked him, right? So she downed him, obviously, okay, happens, right? Expect that to happen. Don't be like fucking shocked by this. But these things are connected, right? After he gave her kids, put her through school, and proposed. This is common in women today. So, I mean, he put her through school, okay? He did, like, all these things, like, probably, and this is why, guys, and I'm not trying to blame him, but at the same time, because I don't know the particulars situation, but I do know that a lot of guys that have this kind of situation happen to them, okay? Even in just regular relationships, not even, marriage relationships, that they are partially, I don't want to say partially responsible, but they don't understand the things I just told you about. They understand some of the red pill type of shit, but they don't understand how to actually be in a relationship and keep the polarization with a woman. They don't know how to be the man in the relationship. Does that make sense? Like, you have to understand how to do that as well. Otherwise, you're going to be very one-sided. You're not going to have relationships, and if you do, you're going to have these things happen. Because a lot of times, it's like a lot of you guys are thinking it's one or the other. You're thinking, okay, well, I'm this red pill guy, I'm MGTOW, and so I'm not getting any long-term relationships with women, and and whatever, because if I did, then I would become this blue-pilled, whatever you want to call it, cuck, soy boy, simp, tradcon type of dude, or whatever, whatever, all the names, right? I'd become this really blue-pilled type of guy, but that's not how it has to be. You can make the choice, having the knowledge that you have, and you can go and you can enter a relationship with a woman. You can even get married, and you can still be the kind of guy that this shit isn't going to happen to, because you're not going to tolerate this, right? But not just because you're not going to tolerate it, because you know how to handle the emotional waves, the things that women do, and you're that rock. You're the kind of guy that they can't find anywhere else. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're never gonna have something bad happen to you, and that this whole situation can't. But it's gonna definitely decrease the chances of that. And most of the time, when I'm seeing this, I'm seeing the other clues, right? Doing all this shit for her, like you guys. Some of you think that the thing is like that it should work in such a way that if you do all this shit for a woman, that she should be faithful and loyal to you. But you forgot the hypergamy nature. That's still going to exist. It doesn't matter how much go back and read Rollo Tomasi's book. Go back and read The Rational Male, and understand the concept, all right, of what it means. What it is essentially saying is that it doesn't matter what you do, right? He has a post called Hypergamy Doesn't Care, okay? And he has it in the book as well. And that is what you need to understand. It doesn't care if you've been devoted husband, if you've done all this and spent money and put her through school and all that. It doesn't care, okay? Because that's not what's really important. And you need to get that concept straight and understand that. And that's not a bitter thing, all right? So let's see what he says. Okay, best years, early 20s or late teens, when thin, young, attractive is running through bad boys. It's playhouse with when fat and alpha stops calling. I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, there's some truth to it, but at the same time, like you can optimize yourself knowing this, okay, right? You can take advantage of this. Meanwhile, the hotter girls are turning 18, 19, 20, 21 every day. Aaron lies to push back to hypergamy. I agree. This is like the thing that women do. This is the thing that men do, okay? So men can age and become older and still, like he said here, 18, 19, 20, 21 every day. And women are always going to be able to keep on looking to move up, right? So that's just how it is, okay? So understand both of those things. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you've got a comment about this, if you've got a question, if this doesn't make sense, leave it below. Let me know what you think about this. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.